Realization, I like my hair down instead of up because I got a huge forehead. Jeez, like, soccer ain't got nothing on me. Damn. Welcome, friends. Lost Scarf here, and it's time for the vlog. There's not a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about, but there's not a lot to talk about. You'll get why in a sec. But first, let's talk about the channel. First up is giveaways. So, I'm going to do a giveaway once a week now. We have a lot of codes. Like, we get codes from a bunch of different places. Maybe we'll get them from a dev, or we'll get them from donation. Like, I got Rust last night from a viewer. If it's a game I don't have, I'll usually add it to the library and research it and see if it's worth recommending or anything like that, or streaming. And if it's something we already have, well, then that goes into this pile to give away. And the monthly giveaways, they put a dent in it, but there's still a good number of giveaways we have. So I'm thinking maybe we should just do a giveaway once a week. Just randomly pick one of the comments from one of the videos, and then, bam, they get a game. That's what I think I'm going to do. It'll be a nice way to just reward people who have just been talking. I know some people are lurkers, they don't like talking, but if you are a talky one, it does help us a little bit, so I may as well just like, hey, one of the people who helped us out by saying something, because I actually like comments too, I like talking. And then when he does that, well then, hey, you get a game. There you go. Cool, there you go. So that's what's going to happen. Starting, actually, I'm going to do it now. So after this, I'm just going to find someone from one of the previous comments like, hey, you want a game? Message me and I'll send you the game. There you go. I'll do that starting already. But that's what's going to happen. Just going to do a giveaway every week because we have quite a few codes to do that. So that might be fun. I'm actually considering just doing a Christmas in July. So we do December and July because we just have so many codes to do. Well, it'd be a Christmas in June maybe because the 6th month and then the 12th month instead of the 7th and then the 12th. Yeah, it was July. Everyone's in summer. Everyone's out of school in July. So, yeah, July. I'm considering doing that. That might be fun. I don't know. Other things with the channel, the loot crates, I have December's and January still to do. Probably why we just have canceled loot crate because I keep forgetting to do it or just I don't feel like doing it. And that's too bad because I really like the loot crates. I just haven't done them. And that's my bad. Like, we do a lot of videos, so we end up just forgetting something at some point, and it's been the loot crates way too many times. And so, gonna get those done eventually, and then the loot crates will be done, and then that'll be it. And if anyone wants any more loot crates, they'll have to donate for that, because we gotta tighten up the budget a little bit. What else with the channel? Okay, so let me better map out what we're doing. What we're doing this year, at least the goal is. Recommendation videos. A lot of recommendation videos, and we do an LP when we find an LP worth doing. For Honor right now is the candidate for a February LP. Like, we're going to see that one. If it's any good, it'll get an LP. There you go. I haven't seen anything else worth LP until that point. So we're just doing a lot of recommendations. You're going to see a lot of one-shots. Going to see a lot of cheap shots whenever they're under $5. So let's map out what all the videos are. There's going to be Scarf and Friends videos, which will come out maybe every 2 weeks, it looks like. And the first one is with me and Verb. Verb's someone I've hung out with for years. But we see each other here and there. We met like 2-ish years ago or so when we were both Smite casters for Smite tournaments. That's how we met, and we've just known each other since then, so we've been very friendly and everything. And so this is a chance to see how me and him work. And the way we work is Verb knows a lot, and I know a bit. So we usually talk about whatever game at length and about balance, because we're both about balance. So we talk about that, and so that's what the Verbcast is basically, that video. It's just a lot of balance talk. Other people, which will do the Scarf and Friend adventures, might be more like highlight-ish because it's just having fun with somebody or this and that. It was like having fun with Verb, but it was a lot of talking as well. And we'll see how that is going forward. I said it before, I'm going to try to get a hold of Hugo, if you know him from the old Smite community. Get a hold of Mez, get a hold of some other people. Get a hold of Kylax in the future when he's free, so you guys can see Kylax again. I'm gonna see about Jag. If you know who Jagger is, gonna try to do something with her. So okay, there's a lot of people worth teaming up with at least once in a while. So I'm gonna see if I can do that, because that could be just really fun videos to do. That'll be great. So that's one video happening. The other ones, of course, the one shots. You know what they are. They've evolved to the point where the one shots are recommendations. Here's my one shot to show you why this game is worth your time. And these games are, of course, different niches across the indie spectrum. And you might like this one, you might like that one, these and those. It's mostly indie games. If it's ever a AAA game, it's only if it's somehow not a lot of people got to play out of that. Like here's a AAA game that is worth playing that somehow no one played, or a AA or a single A. Like there's various. Like I didn't know the A's actually meant anything until I realized. Yeah, of course they mean something. But If I find a game that's worth it, then I will tell you guys. That's basically what the one-shots are. Cheap shots are the $5 and below version of the one-shots, where like, here's games I recommend, they're just cheaper. And the idea here is, by separating those two, is just like, you know that this is $5 and less. So if you don't have a lot of money, you know that these recommendations are something that you might be able to afford. So there you go with that. While the one-shots, they're any price range. That's what happens with the one-shots, because they're whatever. They're any price. There's also going to be Scarf plays, where we just play some game for a bit. It's like LP, but not really. We're just playing something, having fun with it. So that should be great. And there's another series I want to do for more relevant happening now videos. And I haven't found one I want to do one on yet, where it's basically like, I want to make this recommendation video within the week of its release. If I get a copy ahead of time, then I can do it on release day. That'd be awesome. But I want to do it like within a couple days of release. That's what I want to do. And that's if I find a game that I think is worth doing this on. Because I'm considering maybe doing a post-com style on it, where I'm talking over and then just showing you footage instead of just me playing through it. Unless I feel playing through it is the way to do it. Like, I'm wondering which one's better, doing it in post or just doing it during gameplay. Because when you're doing during gameplay, you can show the gameplay and you can explain what's going on. But when you do it in post, you can also talk about a lot of other things and not worry about the gameplay, I suppose, because you're showing it, but you're maybe not showing it as well as you could. There's a back and forth there. There's always a back and forth in a lot of things, and how things can be done better or well. When I did post-com for Flame in the Flood, that worked out very well, because Flame in the Flood is a bit of a slow game, and to show all the things I wanted to show, you had to cut to all these different things. And you see me do it with some videos as well, where I just cut to different areas. Like Sundered, I showed the start, and then I showed some other areas, and I cut to the ending boss fight and everything. So just showing all the different things going on. And as far as Kickstarters go, we have contacts where sometimes we get a game ahead of time so that we can release at Kickstarter time. So we might do those again in the future if we ever get another opportunity, as our name gets spread around. And that's probably the big goal of this year, is doing a lot of recommendation videos and building up more, I guess, credibility, but also just people knowing who we are. I guess that is credibility. So that we could maybe get in contact with more indies and talk with more indies and do more recommendations and stuff like that. That would be cool. I want to do that because I've always wanted the channel to be the channel is a service, but I want it to be two different kinds of service. Like, one is the service of, here's games we're checking out. So it's like a consumer-based service, and then the entertainment side of things where we're having fun, and this is a service of entertainment. I want to do both those things, and we've always been trying to do both those things. And I think we've done pretty well at that. Like, the guides are a mix of just having people just get better at games and being entertaining and to some extent. And so it's always been about just helping people out in some way or another. That's what the channel's always been about, and that's always going to be the goal, is what it is. And so, oh yeah, also Final Fantasy, the Sunday night. So, voice practice is basically the Sunday Final Fantasy. So, we're not going to do voice practice right now. Whatever voices I got, I'm going to put them in there. You're going to hear some voices that just come out of nowhere, that I just discover as I'm doing that game. Because I see this game like, here's a voice I want to do on it, and then that happens. And stuff like that. And so it's a way to explore voices and hammer in voices and stuff like that. And so this is a good chance to really get good at Reinhardt voice, since Steiner is throughout the entire game, so just doing his voice a lot. And so that'll be the voice practice every week. And we're going to be recording the Final Fantasies ahead of time. Like, I'm trying to do the Final Fantasies, I wish daily, but that's not possible. So like every other day or so, and that builds up the Sunday thing right there. That builds it up so that we have all that mapped out and everything. We can see what one comes next. It's basically any RPG that doesn't have voice acting is going in that spot. Kind of. It's also games Jinx wants me to play. So eventually, like, we have FF7, we have FF8, we have other RPGs. I could do I Am Setsuna in that spot if I want, because there's voices to do there. But it's also the spot where Jinx wants me to just play Final Fantasy games. So Jinx wants me to play FF13 at that slot at some point. She wants me to play 10-2 at some point. Those, of course, are voice, so that's not voice practice. So when we do those, I'll go back to doing voice practice videos, I would assume, at that point. But these RPGs that I have to voice myself give me an opportunity to practice voices. And maybe try to find some good female voices if I can do that. The only voice I do well is, like, Old Crone, because, like, any dude can do a good Old Crone voice, I feel. Like, because you're not really trying to be a lady, you're just trying to be, like, crony. So, there you go. And that's that, and it's just a good source of practice, because the voice practices were fun, but I wasn't doing as much voice practice as I could, because just do it once a month. That's not good enough. You got to put in a lot more work and practice. That's the thing. We have made about 3,000 plus videos at this point. We put in a lot of practice in the different things we've done. We've gotten better, but we can get even better because you never stop improving. You just got to keep getting better. Probably the most visual example of that would be artists. You see where they were a couple years ago, where they are the next year, and the next year, the next year. You always see them improving. And that's the best visual representation that you can see of someone improving through practice. Especially if they're doing art every day, you'll see how far they go. Something that is not as obvious to see, like the art of music or editing and stuff like that, is not as obvious to see. But people, when they're working on those things, are improving going forward because they're putting so much work and time into it. And so I wasn't putting enough time into voice practice, but by doing the Final Fantasy with voice practice, it gives me more, I'm doing more voice practice, so that's good. It's not just about how many years you've been at it, it's about how many hours you've been putting in those years. I think that's the right way to think about it, is how much time you've been putting into it. Because if I'm saying I've just been practicing voices for years, maybe you're just doing it a little bit here and there for fun and everything, but if you've been putting in like an hour a day or so, you're gonna learn a lot more than if you only put like an hour a week or an hour a month. That's for sure. That's what's gonna happen. That's practice. That's how it goes. And so this is a good opportunity. And yeah. So January, we're going to see a lot of recommendation stuff. We're always going to see, of course, Overwatch. That's always fun to do. And it's going to be ranked always because I like ranked style more than quick play. Quick play is like, okay, do a match, and then you only did one half, then whatever the other half. I like doing both halves of the map. I also like, with Control, you get to actually get a chance of doing all three of them, and maybe even more if you get into a long slugfest in that, so that's great. So I just liked ranked format better than quick play's format. So that's why we've always been doing ranked. Twitch. Okay, so that's all the channel stuff. It's Twitch stuff. So for Twitch, Sunday is Dishonored 2, and Dishonored 2 is fun. And I'm Emily in that one. And here's the thing. Well, that'll be the topic. But I'll talk about Dishonored 2 for the topic. But and it's not gonna be about Dishonored 2, but it's about my character. And I don't think I've ever talked about this, but that's the thing. The other thing is Saturday night we're gonna replace Hearthstone with Death Road to Canada. And that's a fun game where you can make your viewers into characters in that game. A one-shot's coming out in the future. It is a Oregon Trail meets zombies and beat 'em up. So you have 2 up to 4 people in a car. You're driving from Florida to Canada, and things happen to you like things happen in Oregon Trail. If you've never played the original Oregon Trail, that game was my jam when I was a kid. I really enjoyed it. I played it on the Apple, like on that freaking thing with the giant disc, putting in the thing, just closing the slot and everything. I played it on that because my uncle was a teacher at a night school, and they had those old-ass Apple Mac computer things and with the big floppy disks, and I played that. I played Math Muncher. I can't remember the other things I played, but I played this one with this, like you're like a Shogun or something, but it was all about playing Oregon Trail. And it's such an interesting passive game, though, because you don't really do a lot in Oregon Trail when you really think about it, but it was such a fun game to play when I was a kid, and nostalgia glasses, I could still play it now and just enjoy it, although it's such a passive game when you really think about it, like I just said a second ago. What the hell's wrong with me? But, so Death Road to Canada is Oregon Trail where stuff happens, and it's also zombies in there, and it's a beat 'em up where you're fighting zombies while you're scavenging and trying to get weapons, you're trying to get food, you're trying to get gas, trying to get med kits to keep everyone all healed up. Just stuff like that's happening. There's random encounters, there's some rogue elements to it as well. It's very fun. It's an incredibly fun game. And so Saturday night I'm going to play that, and you can make 80 characters? No, is that 8 times 8? So you can make 64 characters, and you just random encounter, recruit these characters, and you can get them killed, or maybe they'll survive to get to Canada. I have not succeeded yet. I'm in there. I put Jinx in there. I put a bunch of the viewers in there already. We have a video somewhere on the character creation, so any viewers who show up on Saturday night, they can check it out. It's at 6 p.m. PST, which is 9 p.m. EST, and it's just a lot of fun. Just trying to get your viewers or yourself from Florida to Canada, and just the things that might happen to them is very funny and interesting for myself and the chat. It's a very enjoyable experience. And probably at some point after we get tired with Death Road to Canada, we will probably move over to Darkest Dungeon, which is another game where you can name the characters after viewers. And so Darkest Dungeon is an intense game, a very fun game. We used to do this like 1 or 2 years ago where we played that every Sunday night. It was very fun. That was during the early access though, so now the game's complete. Be good to see actually trying to beat that game. It's such an intense game though. And that's before they did a bunch of rebalancing to the game too, so I'm wondering how the game works now. So we'll probably see Darkest Dungeon eventually, but right now it'll be Death Row to Canada, so check that out. That's going to be a lot of fun. Although I think this vlog comes out Sunday, so you're not going to be able to check it out. Huh. Well, you can check out the next week then, if this comes out after that stream. Yeah. But Dishonored 2. So, that was a lot about the channel and Twitch. So let's talk about this topic. Dishonored 2. So, Fallout 4, if you saw that LP, you get a sense of who I am as a person. And Dishonored 2 also gives you that sense, but not as malleable as Fallout 4 did. And that is, I'm a guy who thinks he's who's lawful neutral, or neutral good, whatever the right wording here is. Not neutral good. I'm the guy who thinks he's neutral good, but I think maybe I'm giving too much, and I'm just neutral. But the truth of the matter is, I'm chaotic neutral. Jinx, I believe, is lawful neutral, where she's like she does the right thing and stuff like that. Where I think I do the right thing, but I do it my way. And I think I'm doing the right thing every time. And usually I'm doing the Paragon route. But if you don't do it through Paragon Renegade, you do it more neutral and all those other rules. I'm very chaotic neutral because I'm easily slighted and I will murder everything. And you know that from Fallout 4 if you saw that LP. Easily slighted. If you anger me in any way, you will be killed. You will be killed in those games. And yeah, you will die. You also saw that in the Deus Ex LP as well, that I like to think I'm a good guy, but I'm really just a loose cannon that murders things a lot. And so Dishonored 2 is that as well. It's like it's going to be a high chaos run. If you want to see that stream, it's going to be a high chaos run with Emily, because they done did stuff to my kingdom. So I'm an angry lady in that game, and so everyone dies. Everyone dies in that game. And I'm trying to kill them in the most creative and fun ways. I'm enjoying the force pull ability she has. I'm just pulling guys, and they go midair, and then I just kill them. And then I'm going to get the doppelganger abilities. I'm going to have fun with that game. It's a really... I like Dishonored 2. I like Dishonored because there's a lot of fun things you can do, and Dishonored 2 is a lot of fun, it looks like. So I can't wait to enjoy that. Here, the story's not great, but the gameplay seems to be pretty fun, so that's going to be good. God, it's been a long time since I've talked about the alignment system, so I feel like I'm getting it wrong. Let's see, it's lawful, neutral, chaotic, and then it's good, neutral, evil. Yeah, okay, so Jinx like, you think you're one thing, but you're actually this. And I think I'm neutral good or neutral, but I'm actually chaotic neutral, and that's probably very true. And I just want to talk about this one conversation me and Jinx had. We were talking about the villains of Dragon Ball Z at one point. And what we got was, you've got 3 evils in the series. You have, and then there's Vegeta. You have 3 evils in the series, and that is, Frieza is lawful evil, because he wants to control everything, and everything's under his rule. Neutral evil is Cell, because he is just all for himself. He's not here to... He's perfect. He just wants to prove he's perfect, but he's clearly evil. He doesn't care. He's a very evil character. Everything's very selfish for him, and he's gonna just destroy the planet and go off and just do whatever the hell he wants after he destroys Earth. And then, of course, Boo is chaotic evil, because Boo is just this basic force of nature. Just wants to destroy everything, having fun killing everything. And that's true right there. But what is Vegeta? Vegeta goes through arguably a wide spectrum of things because he's the most developed and evolved character over Z. Piccolo to an extent as well, because but Vegeta is introduced in Z, so he goes from basically probably chaotic and evil. Like, he's basically chaotic the whole time because of how Vegeta is. Like, he's just destroying everything. He likes killing everything. He just has fun with it. He's just wrecking everything. And he's clearly evil. Very evil. He's a very evil character. And when we go into Frieza Saga, he's definitely still evil. You could say he's more... he's working with them, but he's still towards his own goals. So he's evil the whole time. And this is where I get mixed up on his lawful, neutral, and chaotic. I feel like Vegeta is probably going more towards neutral evil at that point because he's not being really chaotic about what he's doing. He's being smarter about it, but it's all selfish goals. But prior to that, he just seems like he's just a maniac that's just doing whatever to become immortal. And then during Frieza Saga, he's more like neutral evil, and then he just stays neutral evil throughout for the rest of the series up until Buu Saga. Because during the entire Android Saga, he's out for him. He's very selfish. He's still evil, though, because once he gets everything out of the way, oh, everything's his. Like, once he gets the androids out of the way, proves he's the strongest, he'll take out Goku and everyone else, and then it's all him. He doesn't really care about anything, really. Like, he proves that in the Cell Saga, he does not care about anyone else until Cell just straight up wrecks Trunks. Then he shows some care for someone other than himself, like actual care. But he doesn't go full circle until the Buu Saga when he sacrifices himself, where he goes all the way up to good. Like, he's in the neutral area. He's probably in the neutral area when he's fighting, after what happens to Trunks. He's like, okay, he's fighting for something else now. And then when Buu Saga happens, he's finally fighting for good. So he goes from to like neutral good at that point, because he's not really chaotic anymore. He's not a maniac anymore. He's somewhere in the middle. And he's just doing the right thing, finally. Of course, he went right back to chaotic evil when he let Majin, when he let Babidi make him go Majin thing so he can go Super Saiyan 2. He went back to chaotic evil at that point, because he was just wrecking things again. But then he goes all the way over to neutral good at the end. And I think that was the conversation me and Jinx has. Just, you have a villain that represents each evil, and then you have Vegeta who just goes across the map for the most part. And that's interesting, just talking about it in those terms for Dragon Ball. While Piccolo he's more, I'd say he's lawful evil. Like, he has his own code. He just really wants to kill Goku. And then after that saga's over, when you get into Z, he's probably still evil because he straight up kills Goku. And so he's still evil at that point, but then he's raising Gohan to make him his thing. And Gohan turns him towards neutral, and then he just turns him towards good at the end when Piccolo sacrifices himself. Noticing Z has people sacrifice themselves quite a bit. Good thing they have Dragon Balls. And, yeah, just thought that was an interesting thing right there to talk about. Now, I might be a bit off in how lawful, neutral, and evil work, lawful, neutral, and chaotic work, and good, neutral, and evil work, because it's been a while. But I thought that was an interesting conversation we had, so I just relayed that one for fun. And so there you go, that right there is the vlog. Like, yeah. I thought that was just an interesting thing going on there. Thought that was just interesting. But that right there is the vlog. That was a bit of a talk right there. Wasn't looking at the camera much because I was just searching memory for things I was talking about. But, oh god. Okay, one last thing is acting class starts in 9 days. And I'll probably start talking about that in the vlogs, because I'm really curious what that's going to be about. And it's just like, Scarf tells you about acting. Like, that's what it's going to be. I remember the joke Jesse Cox said, or that was actually a class he had, where it was, okay, I want you to go home and eat a lemon. Then tomorrow, come back and eat that lemon again. Like, just show the emotion of eating a lemon. Like, that's interesting. That's interesting. Probably not what this class is going to be. I think it's like a theatrical acting class, but it might still be something worth learning from. Maybe I'll just learn Macbeth really well. I don't know. But we'll find out in 9 days. So that right there is the vlog. I had fun talking. Hope you had fun watching and listening. And thank you to Jinx for all of her hard work. And thank you all for watching and doing what you do. So there you go. I had fun. Hope you had fun watching. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by. And see you next time.